and of course the Mighty Mac who is preceding him. This is the King George. I still think the Mighty Mac just might, the way he jumps, he just might out-jump them and get clear. That's my long-distance hope on anti-post, but let's have the post-race betting at the moment.
Wayward Lad, the 11-to-8 favourite, the Mighty Mac 5-2, $50 more 7-2, and Brown Chamberlain 4-1. Two Swallows is the 100-to-1 outsider. All five are quoted.
And there you see them in the parade. Wayward Lad bringing up the rear, last year's winner. He looks absolutely magnificent. He's an amazingly good-looking horse. He's black, or nearly black, very dark brown coat, absolutely gleaming in the sunshine. He could not possibly look better. And he couldn't possibly have won his first race easier this season. It was the Charlie Hall Memorial at Wetherby. Well, who's to say that even Wayward Lad or the others are going to be able to catch him? Brough was talking to Dermot Brown, and he asked him whether it was a problem that Brown Chamberlain might be disputing the lead with the Mighty Mac. Right, he'll have to catch him. But there are others. There are Fred Winter's pair, notably Brown Chamberlain, in your picture now. He was a brilliant winner of the Sun Alliance 2 seasons ago. Disappointed last year, probably partly because he had a bad back and partly because the wrong tactics were used. But lately, up in front or sharing the lead, he's looked really good and won the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. Brough, talking to John Frankham, asked who will make the early running, you or the Mighty Mac?
I would think the Mighty Mac will make it. Brown Chamberlain doesn't have to make the run, and he just likes to be up there with the pace. And he's obviously a better horse this year. He wasn't right last year. And also the better ground we've had has helped him. And it's quite good here today, so I'm hoping that he'll give another good count of himself.
And you're in a special position because you won on Wayward Lad last year. You also rode $50 more through his early career. Which horse would you prefer to ride today?
Well, I wouldn't get off of mine for anything, but I just think that Wayward Lad is a very classy horse.
You can still win?
I certainly wouldn't get off of mine to ride anything. And I certainly hope I'm there with the chance at the last.
And if he is, Brown Chamberlain will be given every chance from there on in. He too looks magnificent, but $50 more. I quite agree with Fred Winter. Well, who am I to agree with Fred Winter? But it is obvious that $50 more is done magnificently, physically. The Grey is the outsider, of course, 2 Swallows. I'm afraid I can't give him a chance, but there's $50 more. Just look how he's thickened and strengthened. Well, I don't know whether you remember what he looked like, but he used to be rather narrow and herring-gutted. He used also to have doubtful brakes and doubtful steering. You couldn't stop him, and you couldn't always keep him straight in a finish. Just sometimes, even now, he has been known to hang in a finish still, but he ran on straight as a gun barrel the other day at Huntingdon when Wayward Lad only just beat him. In another 2 strides, in fact, $50 more would have caught him, and it was entirely jumping, Wayward Lad's brilliant jumping that day, which won the day. So let's see. What we're going to see today is a spectacular exhibition from Mighty Mac, and Wayward Lad and $50 more, and Brown Chamberlain probably behind him. Well, it's anybody's guess. Let's have a look at the betting.
Wayward Lad, the 11-to-8 favourite, the Mighty Mac, and $50 more, both at 3-1. Brown Chamberlain 9-2, and 2 Swallows has gone out to 200-1. All 5 show.
This the race, of course, in which the mighty Arkle ended his career, breaking a pedal bone at the last open ditch. So many great scenes and great deeds have been done in the King George VI. So let's see what they can do now. Over to you, Graham.
And these 5 great chasers have 19 fences to jump. Between them, they've won over £310,000 in prize money, and towards the right of the picture, the Greys 2 Swallows, but Wayward Lad led over the first. In fact, it was the Mighty Mac who led over the first as they go to the second, which is the open ditch. The Mighty Mac from in second place, $50 more than Brown Chamberlain and Wayward Lad. So the Mighty Mac leading from $50 more in second place, who's racing on the outside of Brown Chamberlain. Then 2 Swallows, and the back marker is Wayward Lad. As they turn into the back straight, the Mighty Mac setting a sensible pace in the lead from $50 more second on the outer. Then Brown Chamberlain, the Grey 2 Swallows now towards the right of the picture. The favourite Wayward Lad back in last place. as they come to the third. Plain fence this is the third, the Mighty Mac in the lead. Coming down towards their second open ditch, and the Mighty Mac in the lead from $50 more, the Mighty Mac from $50 more, then Brown Chamberlain, Wayward Lad and Two Swallows as they come to the fifth. Look down on Dermot Brown as he leads going into this fence. Oh, what a jump, what a jump. You can just see the grey. I'm afraid Two Swallows already some way adrift in this pace. Over the next, with a bold jump from the Mighty Mac. Then comes $50 more on Brown Chamberlain and Wayward Lad. Those are the only four in the picture at the moment. The grey is continuing Two Swallows, but it's already some 20 lengths adrift. Swing right-handed into the home straight and come towards the seventh. The Mighty Mac in the lead from Brown Chamberlain next to the rails. $50 more on the outside of him, and then Wayward Lad, and they're coming to the seventh. The Mighty Mac, another bold jump from Brown Chamberlain on the inside of $50 more. Stable companions second and third, stable companions first and fourth as they take the next. Wayward Lad making up a little bit of ground up on the outside as they come towards the ninth. And it's the Mighty Mac in the lead from Brown Chamberlain on the outside of $50 more and Wayward Lad. This will be the last next time round. This time it's the ninth. The leaders all safely over. Two Swallows is continuing, but already almost a fence behind. And the Mighty Mac leads as they pass the post from Brown Chamberlain, now going up on the outside. And Brown Chamberlain just shades him as they pass the post. From the Mighty Mac, Wayward Lad and $50 more, John, and this is developing into a cracker.
It certainly is. The Mighty Mac, his jumping hasn't disappointed us. He just missed out one, but just see how far he stood off the water, but he still cleared it easily. I thought for a moment John Frankham on Brown Chamberlain was going to head him and go past him there, but the moment he came up to the Mighty Mac ran on again. Got a little bit close to that one, but he's still 2 or 3 lengths in front. Wayward Lad on the outside, not absolutely cruising on the bit, as you might say. Last year John Frankham said it took him all his time to keep his place in this 3-mile chase, so that Wayward Lad isn't going all that easily, but plenty easily enough. As a matter of fact, now when I come to look at it, but so's the leader, the Mighty Mac, cruising ahead of Brown Chamberlain, and what a race is building up.
And they've got 7 more fences to jump. 3 in the home straight, 4 down the back straight. The first one they come to is a plain fence, and it's the Mighty Mac in the lead. From Brown Chamberlain, Wayward Lad towards the right of the group, $50 more just in behind these. This is the 13th. The Mighty Mac from the other 3 who are virtually in the air together. Wayward Lad is on the right of the picture, Brown Chamberlain on the left, and $50 more just in behind these. This is the last ditch, fence number 14. The Mighty Mac over in the lead from Brown Chamberlain and Wayward Lad and $50 more, and Dermot Brown looks round to see where the others are. He's got 5 more to jump. It's the Mighty Mac in the lead from Wayward Lad. So it's Dickinson 1-2 for the first time as they take that fence. From Fred Winter 3-4, Brown Chamberlain in third, $50 more back in 4th place. Go to the last on the far side, 4 out this, the Mighty Mac in the lead, a mighty lead from him. Wayward Lad now in pursuit in 2nd place. Then comes Brown Chamberlain in third, $50 more in 4th. Looking back, I can't see the grey Two Swallows, I think he's pulled up. But it's Dickinson 1-2 as they turn into the home straight in this King George VI chase. It's the Mighty Mac in the lead from Wayward Lad in second, the Mighty Mac in the lead from Wayward Lad in 2nd place. Then comes Brown Chamberlain back in third, but Brown Chamberlain is trying to close as they come down to the 3 out. It's the Mighty Mac from Brown Chamberlain up on the inside, Wayward Lad on the outer, 3 out this, the Mighty Mac from Brown Chamberlain and Wayward Lad, Mighty Mac from Wayward Lad and Brown Chamberlain coming down to the 2nd last, and Wayward Lad now comes through, that is good to lead, 2 out this, and Wayward Lad led from the Mighty Mac in 2nd place, Brown Chamberlain is third, and 1 more fence to jump, and it's Wayward Lad in the lead from Brown Chamberlain in 2nd place, Wayward Lad the leader from Brown Chamberlain in second, the Mighty Mac is third as they come down to the final fence in the King George chase, at which Wayward Lad jumped it very smoothly and in the lead, going on from Brown Chamberlain as they come up towards the line. Wayward Lad's going to win it by some 3 to 4 lengths. Wayward Lad's going to win it at the line. Wayward Lad is the winner from Brown Chamberlain in second, and then came the Mighty Mac third, and behind these came $50 more, doing Two Swallows. Miss Justice, he is continuing, but he's in 5th place, and so the result of this King George VI chase, it's a win for number 7, Wayward Lad, owned by Mr. S.N. Thewlis and Mr. Les Abbott, trained at Harewood by Michael Dickinson and ridden by Robert Earnshaw, the 12th winner of the season that he has ridden, and it's the 5th consecutive King George VI chase for the Dickinson family. Second was number 2, Brown Chamberlain, ridden by John Frankham, and third was number 5, the Mighty Mac, ridden by Dermot Brown. But that's the 1, 2, 3 in this King George VI chase, and in fact the winner, Wayward Lad, the 11-to-8 favourite, winning this race for the second time, and as they turned into the home straight, it looked as if he was going to win easily, but in fact that proved not to be the case. Let's review the closing stages, as Robert Earnshaw looks a bit winded, I'm afraid to say, but he looks all right now. Let's review the closing stages with John.
Well, as half as we expected, the Mighty Mac's brilliant jumping has not been a match for Wayward Lad's acceleration. It's going to happen now, and just look at John Frankham over on the far rails. What a wonderful race he's ridden on Brown Chamberlain. He gets a gap inside the Mighty Mac, comes up going to the third last, and now the Mighty Mac's jumping is no longer any good to him. He still jumps the third last brilliantly, but his stable companion on the wide outside, Wayward Lad, begins to quicken. For a moment Brown Chamberlain goes with him over on the far side, under extreme pressure as you can see, but at the second last Wayward Lad lands a length in front, and from there on in fact the race is over. It's slightly distorted by our camera. It looks almost as though they were level, but in fact Wayward Lad is probably now 2 or 3 lengths in front. He's clear going to the last. Only a desperate blunder could rob him here, and he doesn't make desperate blunders these days. He jumps it beautifully, sprints for the line, the 5th for the Dickinsons, the 2nd for Wayward Lad. A really brilliant performance. This time Robert Earnshaw did choose right, and the great stables have shared it. Dickinson first, Winter second, and the Mighty Mac a very gallant third. But what a brilliant winner. Wayward Lad, one of the best and richest prize winners in jumping history, and one of the most handsome steeplechasers you'll ever see.
And there you see Fred Winter just congratulating Michael Dickinson, and what a sporting gesture that was. And Robert Earnshaw comes back on this 8-year-old Wayward Lad, winning this race for the second time. Successful last year when ridden by John Frankham, and I'm afraid to say John had to ride the second horse home here, Brown Chamberlain. There's our winner, Wayward Lad.